everybody, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for being here today. Today's video, we are going to be discussing my favorite foundations. I have them all right here in my little bag and I'm ready to discuss them with you. I do have 13 different foundations here, so it's quite a bit, but this is, you know, sheer coverage all the way to the fullest of coverages I go, which is like a medium full, but that's neither here nor there. Before we get started, make sure that you've subscribed to my channel if you haven't already, and go ahead and click that notification bell so that you can be notified when we upload videos. Make sure that you're following me on social medias. My social media tag will be popping up right here below me, so you can follow me there. And with all that said, I think that's everything. Let's just go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start with sheer coverage. We're gonna go from the lightest all the way to the fullest of coverages that I love, and these are foundations that I have been wearing for quite some time. There are some in here that are newer-ish to me, and I'll mention those when we get to them, but most of these I've been wearing them for quite a while. I really love them. Every time I wear them, I know that I can depend on them to last really well on my skin, to look beautiful and improve the quality of my skin, the way that my skin looks. So let's get started. We're gonna start with the lightest coverage, and I will say, the way I am, I prefer light coverage, as you know. And I noticed that I tend to go lighter coverage in the summer because, you know, I'm getting a tan or something. I guess I prefer to just let that show through. And then as we go into winter, I definitely prefer the light medium coverage range. So starting out with the sheerest of sheerest coverage, this is basically water, but just with a little bit of a tint. It is the Glossier skin tint. I have the shade G11. Yeah, I have the shade G11 here. This is a tried and true for me. I love this foundation for, as I said, the summer times. It just has a really nice wash that just lightly evens out my skin tone. I really love this as a mixing foundation, to mix in with something that's maybe a little bit more on the matte side or natural side, that or if something that I want to sheer out the coverage a little bit of. I love mixing this in. I can't imagine my life without this skin tint in it. Next up is just a bit more coverage than that, is the Beauty Counter Dew Skin. I have the shade Light here. This is also a very sheer coverage, but just slightly more coverage than the Glossier skin tint. It is very light in coverage. It is very dewy. It is basically just a SPF moisturizer with a little bit of a tint to it, because it does have SPF 20 in it. I love this for the summertime to use as my SPF because I can pile this on and it just looks beautiful, and it is very, very, very dewy. Maybe I should swatch some of these for you, I don't know. Show you the finish, I guess. So the Glossier skin tint is dewy. It's very liquidy. It just blends away into what looks like nothing on my skin pretty much. So then we have the Beauty Counter Dew Skin, which is a much thicker consistency. I mean, it's like a moisturizer on my skin almost. Like, I need to work this in, and it's very moisturizing, very, very dewy. I mean, you can see how dewy it is. Goodness, my hand looks so hydrated and healthy. And that's what I love about this is definitely a go-to base for me if I've been sunburned or something. Because in the summertime, you know, we're outside, we're sweating, but you know, the sun dries out our skin a bit. This just makes my skin look so hydrated, so healthy. Love that one. Next up is MAC Face and Body. This is one of my favorite foundations of all time. These are all my favorites, but literally, if I could pick like 3 foundations to spend the rest of my life with, this would have to be in there, because I love this so much. It is so long wearing. It is also a very sheer light coverage. You can build up the coverage a bit, but it is very sheer and light. The thing about this that is so interesting, as you can see, I had to go get the giant bottle when I refilled this. So this is something that I wear all year long. It is something I can really rely on for a nice, dewy, light coverage. But the thing about this that is really unique is as you blend it, you will feel it start to get tougher and tougher to blend as you massage it into your skin. And it starts to get tacky, like right there it just started. And once you get to that point, it is gonna dry down and it is gonna stay. It claims to be a waterproof foundation, I believe. In case you're wondering, I have the shade N2. There's like 13, 14, 15 shades in this range. It's great for the summertime when I'm sweating. It's not gonna wear off in a weird way. It's just gonna be beautiful and stay on my face really well. And if it does wear, it fades really nicely. So next up on the coverage, just slightly more than the last, is the Tarte Maracuja Tinted Hydrator. Now this is a beautiful tinted moisturizer. I love this one. I have the shade 20 in Light Neutral. This is really beautiful. It came out this year, I believe, beginning of the summer. It's just a classic tinted moisturizer, you know what I mean? It's very hydrating, as it says. Just this formula really works really well with my skin, and it's just something that I find myself just gravitating towards, that I just grab on a regular basis when I just want a tinted moisturizer. This one you guys are already familiar with. It's the Nudestix Tinted Cover Foundation. It is beautiful. You guys have seen it on my face in my Nudestix video. I will link that up here in case you haven't seen it. You should check it out. And you can see me put on a full face of Nudestix. And it was beautiful because the base products from Nudestix are just like, they stand out to me as something really special. I just know that my skin is gonna look amazing and it's gonna last throughout the day. When I put this foundation on, I can rely on it. It's perfect. Next one is the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint. This has an SPF of 40 in it, and it is beautiful. It came out beginning of this year, I believe. It is so dewy. It is a serum. You do need to shake it up because the serum and the pigment do separate if you just have it sitting in your drawer. But it is so dewy, and it has a decent amount of coverage to it for what you would expect because it is called a skin tint, but it definitely is not like the Glossier skin tint. It has a light coverage. It is beautiful. It's beautifully dewy. It looks amazing on my skin. It lasts so well, especially for someone like me with dry skin where my face just kind of gets drier throughout the day. This moisturizes my skin throughout the day and keeps it looking fresher for so long. It's just beautiful. Next up, we have a newer foundation to me, to my collection, to the world. It is only just released in the last couple months. It is the M Cosmetics Daydream Cushion Foundation. This is beautiful. It also has an SPF in it of SPF 50. Yeah, SPF 50 in this. It's beautiful. If you guys haven't seen my full face of M Cosmetics, I will link it up here so you can see me trying this foundation and how glorious it is. It's beautiful. It's a really nice light coverage. It's very naturally radiant. It's not crazy. It's not the dewiest I have. Another big thing that I look for in foundations, especially with my light coverage, is the reason I love light coverage so much is I don't feel like I have anything on my face. It just feels like I just have moisturizer on my face at the very most, you know? I love my base to have that nice lightweight feeling, and I want my face to feel very movable, and I don't want to feel restricted by there being so many, like a thick layer of product on my face to where I feel like it's gonna crease. I've noticed the thinner the formulas, the nicer that they tend to wear on my skin and the less they sink into lines on my face. So anyway, I love this one. Next up, I'd say we're getting into more the light to buildable medium coverage is the Makeup Forever Reboot Foundation. This foundation is stunning. It is so lightweight. It's very liquidy, but it is gorgeous. It's so beautiful, so thin, so moisturizing, and it just makes your face look so fresh. And this is definitely a skin-like finish. It's not super dewy, but it just mimics the look of your skin, just more perfected, just almost blurred, but I've fallen in love with this foundation so hard. It wears so well. It just looks like your skin. It's beautiful. And it's a nice light to, you can build it up to medium. Coverage, next up, we are getting into the more medium side, as you noticed with that last one. These are definitely all of my medium to buildable foundations. Starting out with the Lancôme Skin Feels Good. It's called a skin tint, but it has a lot of coverage to it. It does have SPF in it of SPF 23, which is a random number. It is beautiful. This foundation is really unique in the way that it looks on your skin. It is very dewy, but it just blends out, and it literally looks like there is just water on your skin, and you can feel it when you're blending it out, like you can feel the water. It does just feel like water. Separating from the pigment and blending further into your skin. I wear this one a lot. It's been a favorite for quite a while. And I know that you can't see these on my hand very well because, you know, it's the shade of my skin. So, but it is a beautiful, beautiful foundation. I definitely call it a light medium coverage. You can sheer it out a bit, you know, to be more on the sheer light side, but it's definitely a solid light medium coverage for me. I really love this one, have loved it for a long time. Next up is the other newer foundation to me. is the Sephora SClean Glowing Skin Foundation. It is beautiful. I will link the video where I tried this up here in the iCards. It is stunning. It's so beautiful. It's just a nice light medium. You could, as I said, you can shear these back down to light coverage, but this is definitely a medium coverage foundation. It's a glowing foundation. Your face looks glowy and radiant. It wears really well. I wouldn't say it's super like slidey and stuff. It definitely sets down and really lasts really well on your skin. I love this foundation and it's quickly become a favorite. The next is the Colourpop Pretty Fresh foundation. Now this foundation they came out with this year, I believe, as well. They have a Pretty Fresh tinted moisturizer, which I also really like, but this really blew me out of the water. The first time I put it on, I was like, why does my face look so good? I don't understand. It's so beautiful. It's a nice high medium coverage, I would say. Has a lot of coverage to it. Just reliable, and it's something that I wear for events often. This is like one of my foundations I consider a wedding foundation. I'd wear it to a wedding, and I have. So it's beautiful. You should try it out because it's affordable. Yeah, the Sephora SClean foundation is also quite affordable. The Sephora brand in general is on the cheaper side for all the Sephora brands. I think this is close to $20. But this as well is affordable, and you can find it online at Ulta, obviously online at Colourpop. I think they are getting this in stores at Ulta. I don't know. Anyway, I have the shade Light 55N. There are a ton of shades in this. It's beautiful. You should try it out. Next up is a classic for me, a reliable foundation that I've been wearing for years and years and years and years, is the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Cream Illuminating version. So there is just a regular version of this, there's an illuminating, and I think there's one more, I can't remember what it's called. Either way, the original one, the illuminating one, they are both beautiful. I wear the shade Light. It improves the quality of your skin so much. It has a lot of coverage, definitely a medium to even full coverage foundation. Lasts really well on the skin. I think this would literally work for almost all skin types. It's beautiful, if that's the kind of finish that you're looking for. The last foundation is actually the foundation that I'm wearing today. It's the foundation that I was wearing in my previous video. It is the Uoma Beauty Say What foundation. This foundation kind of blew me away. It is so interesting, so different to a lot of foundations. And I was talking to my husband about this recently. I really hope that this is kind of the way that a lot of brands are going as far as bringing out complexion products. I think that this is a really cool concept, and I would love to see more things like this. And the concept is that it is an adjustable coverage and an adjustable finish. So this foundation, they call it an adjustable coverage. It can be anywhere from a light to sheer coverage all the way to a full coverage, definitely. It's quite liquidy in consistency, and it's a very thin feeling foundation, and I love this foundation because it is a natural finish. It really just changes based on what you put underneath it, or if you mix something with it. Like for me today, I actually mixed one of my glowy primers with it just to kind of thin it out, and it just gave me a nice light sheer coverage that looks really glowy, really natural, really skin-like. And you can absolutely build this up in layers. Yeah, you could definitely make this more matte by just putting a matte primer on underneath it, or, you know, just being aware of what skin prep you're using underneath it would change the finish of the foundation. It's pretty special. I think it's really interesting. I love that concept, and I hope that there are more foundations. That's Michael coming home.
Any recordings?
Just give me a sec. I'm literally on the last one. You good?
It's cold.
Okay.
It's so cold.
Go cozy up in the bed. Okay, love you.
Love you too.
I really hope that this is the way that foundations are going in the future. I would love to see more formulas like this and just bring on the innovation. It's really interesting and different, and I love this. I think that this would literally work for anyone. This brand is available online at Ulta, so you should check it out. I also love their concealer. It'll definitely be mentioned in my favorite concealers, no doubt. Their complexion products, I think that there's really something very special. With that, I think that's the shortest video that I've literally ever filmed in my whole life, because I don't know, it's just like, I like all these foundations. These are the ones that are my favorite. this is the coverage they have, this is the finish they have, which all of them are pretty much dewy, so no surprise there. So anyway, that is everything for me today. These were my favorite foundations. Another video down in my favorites videos that are coming out to you. In case you didn't know about that, you should check out my first favorites video I just posted the other week. It was on my favorite powder bronzers and highlighters, so you can check that out. I'll link it right up here in the iCards. And yeah, stay tuned for, you know, the rest of my favorites videos. They are forthcoming. I'm gonna try to keep breaking them up with videos in between so it's not just a ton of favorites videos in a row. But yeah, that's today's video. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye! That's it! I'm done, you can come out. You gonna come out? Okay. Is he gonna come? We don't know. Okay.